Hey, welcome to our shop for another quick video. This one is going to be on the fast sharp system, and today I'm just going to cover the materials that you need plus some options. Yeah, I got a new coat. My last canvas wax coat, 30 years old, just kind of started to wear out. So I got a new one. Hope you like it. Okay, here we go. Fast sharp. I like to start with a kitchen cabinet roll just to keep everything in place. And you'll notice that I do this just on my workbench. Normally I do it on a bench or a work surface on the side, and I keep it set up permanently. But for the video, we're gonna do this bit by bit. Okay, so for sharpening, all you need are two things. You need a diamond plate. This is a DMT extra fine, so it's 1200. Okay, second thing you need is a strop of some sort. This one is a 2x4 cutoff that I have screwed on little silicone feet to keep it from sliding about. And I've put a old leather belt on top with the furry side up and saturated that with honing compound, green 6000 compound. You don't need the leather. You can just do it directly on the wood. Just saturate the wood with the compound and you're good to go. So that gives you the basic fast sharpening system. Extra fine diamond stone and a strop. The strop you're going to use after you get the bevel correct and the edge on there. It doesn't create the edge. That's created with the diamond stone. All it does is hone the edge and polish it to a fine finish. So you'll do maybe 3 or 4 pulls of the bevel side like that. And if you develop a burr, you would then place it down on the back, put your finger on the burr and pull backwards, and that should remove the burr entire. Now, if you get a nick on your blade, then you're gonna want to take off more material. You can do it with this stone, but it's gonna take a while. Add in a 250 grit diamond stone. This one is called Extra Coarse. It's from DMT. I think it's actually 220 grit. I'd have to look that up to be sure. But that is the stone on which you will do the basic material remover to get to the place where the nick is no longer interfering with the edge. You shouldn't have to redo the back of any chisel or plane blade, even if there's a chip. You should only need to do the bevel. Cut the bevel back until the chip in the edge is gone. The honing of the back of chisels and plane blades should be a once and done practice. You may need to polish the back a little bit because some metals make a burr on the end of the edge, and in order to get that burr off, you need to use the compound. There is an alternative to the 250 grit diamond stone, and that is to use the sandpaper method. This is 3M wet dry paper. This is a ceramic tile that I got for free from a ceramic tile place, kitchen tile, because it has nicks in all 4 corners. So they were going to throw this tile away. I went down there and said, hey, you got any free tiles? Boom, free tile. I simply glued it with 3M spray adhesive to a piece of plywood, to which I glued, using wood glue, a little cleat. You can either put that cleat in your vise, or you can just put it up against the edge of the bench. You really don't need the cleat, but you know, it helps keep things in place. It's best when you put the paper on to make sure that you can get right to one or two edges, or you can trim your tile and board down so that you can get to all the edges. Use this just like you would a diamond stone. Flood it with water, put your tool on here, move it back and forth. Keep the abrasive clean by frequently spraying. Tip it up a bit, spray from here towards there. Wash out the swath from within the abrasive, keeping your abrasive active. This paper is really very near the end of its lifetime. Believe it or not, this paper has been on this stone for 2 years because I don't chip my blades that often. And the only time I use this is when I get a new blade or a new, to me, blade. Like when we got this one, it was completely covered in rust. And so I used this sandpaper to remove the rust all around. And then I've coated it with tool wax so it won't re-rust. So that's a good alternative. It's very inexpensive. The spray adhesive is $10 a bottle. The paper, the 3M wet dry paper in 250 grit is $10 for 4 sheets. And they last a really long time if you're careful.